Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin on dice and woes of life. Love deprived, looking to revive. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise, crystal chandeliers, moments reflected off the mirrors and pit clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving that rain in the grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, in paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, in paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive.
Boom. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and I am wearing my USA jersey shirt today, courtesy of my guy, Jose Fierro. Appreciate you, homie. Man, I tell you what, the NBA is ramping up. The Thunder finally got the guy that we have said that we were number one on my list of who I wanted. And then I think the Knicks, once they signed OG, I think that really just opened the door for us to go ahead and sign him, and we did. And, you know, the Thunder, I was a little perturbed about not going after people in the draft, but Sam Presti has a plan. So we'll get into everything that's happened in the NBA, which is a bunch of stuff, and a bunch of stuff that's happened with the Thunder. And, by the way, Wednesdays when we normally do our Thunder deal, but we're going to do it tonight since this big, huge signing of Hartenstein and our other news, which we'll talk about here in a minute. So we're going to break down exactly what other teams have done, what the Thunder have done, and just seeing how they have matched up and how the different teams in each division has gotten better. But it's mainly talking about the Thunder. So we'll do that tonight on the show. And then, of course, the USA plays tonight in a must-win game. So I'll probably have the show. We'll do the show early and then come back and watch the USA soccer match tonight. So let's just jump right in. We might as well just get right into it. I mean, I don't know what else to do. The Thunder, former Knicks center Isaiah Hartenstein signed a 3 years, $87 million contract with the Thunder, which, of course, that was all set up by the signing of and release of Gordon Hayward. And Sam Presti, of course, I said that last year. I said that when he signed him, I said, that's a money deal. That's all that is. That's a chance for us to get more money and to add more money on the books to go sign somebody. And that's exactly what Sam Presti did. He used that money to, to sign Hartenstein, which now what that does for the Thunder, that cheers you up now. We're going to go into detail about this tonight, but what ends up happening is I'm sitting there looking at it and I'm going, okay, what is your starting five now? Is it going to be Caruso or is it going to be Dort? And to me, why would you sign Caruso, who is Dort but better? Why is Dort still on the team? I mean, and somebody was arguing with me about that, and I'm like, you know, they're the same player. Why are you going to keep them? That makes no sense to me. Now, remember, everybody, if you have comments, you can go to YouTube, search The Unpopular Hour with Matt Clark, like, subscribe, hit notifications, and if there's something that you want to talk about, because when you do it on Facebook, as I said before, I don't see it until after the show's over. I don't see what you comment and what you do on Facebook. So I won't say that until after the show. So go ahead and go to YouTube, search The Unpopular Hour, Matt Clark, and then when you ask a question or if you comment, I can see it right away, and we can make statements, and we can talk about it. Because tonight, I promise you, on the Unpopular Hour, we'll have tons, and we get way more feedback from the Thunder show than we do the afternoon show. So we'll see how that works out for us for that. But anyway, huge signing for the Thunder. It allows us to do so much more. Isaiah Joe, of course, signed a 4-year, $48 million contract, and I want to apologize to my guy at Cat's Tavern right now. He said that he swore that Joe would be back. I didn't understand why Joe would come back. He's got exposed in the last 2 years at the end of the year on what he does not give for us. And, I mean, I like Isaiah Joe. but teams have figured out what he is and what he isn't. And I understand you got a developmental coach who's good at developmental players, but we're trying to win. We're not trying to develop. Or are we trying to develop? Are we still not in win now mode? Because Sam Presti is sending a two-way message. One, he says he's sending a message that we're in win now mode by signing Caruso, but he hadn't traded Dort yet. Then two, you go out and you sign a bunch of guards or you draft a bunch of guards in the draft. Don't go after any bigs. And declaring the biggest thing that you've got is that. Now you sign Isaiah Joe to a 4-year, $12 million a year contract, which is okay. But I'm like, I don't. I mean, it's not a lot of money, is what I'm saying. I just don't understand why you're signing him at all. He didn't give us anything, and I like him. But now you can say it's his first playoffs, but at the end of last year, he didn't give us anything. His numbers dropped from the beginning of the year to the end of the year because once teams realize what you do, they see your sets, they're going to take away certain things that they do. And the one thing that's been constant is the ability for SGA to do what SGA does and then for them not to be able to take that away. But you have to have other players to be able to step up and do that. So we needed Isaiah Joe to step up and do some things, and he did not come through. So Sam Presti is Sam Presti, but we shall see what else he's going to do because I look at what the Celtics did. I look at what everybody else has done, and I'm just going, I don't understand it because to me, Celtics, when your coach gets clearly outcoached, which ours did last year, 100% he got outcoached. And you can like him all you want to, you can say whatever you want to, the guy got outcoached. And either you're blind or you don't know basketball if you think he did not get outcoached. He got outcoached. 100% he got outcoached. So you look at what the Celtics did when Mazzulla got outcoached. What did they do? Upgrade the coaching staff to help him make decisions. Then they went out and got Porzingis. They went out and got Drew Holiday. And what have the Thunder done? They went out and drafted a guy who's not going to play until next year, which is I'm okay with because we don't really need him. I mean, we do, but we're okay. That gives Casey Wallace one more year to develop, so I'm okay with that 100%. Our missing piece that wasn't guards. Our missing pieces was a what? An inside presence. That's our missing piece. And to go to this is to show you what I'm talking about right here. When you look at our team stats, last year, this year, before the draft last year, I said the Thunder needed three things. They needed shooting, improve outside shooting, perimeter defense, and inside presence. We clearly did the first two. We were up 3 points a game scoring, and we were down 3 points a game in what we were giving up. So in that instance right there, that's 6 points, which is why you got 57 wins. Field goal percentage, you were at 24%, 24th in the league last year, third in the league this year in field goal percentage. You were 17th last year in opponents' field goal percentage. This year, you were in 45. You're in third. 3-point percentage, you were 18th last year. We were 18th last year. We're first this year. We were 15th last year. We were 13th this year. Or 17th last year. We were 15th last year, 13th this year. So you see right there that the fact that the Thunder had improved in two of the three areas that I've been talking about. The third area is really simple, okay? The third area is really simple. Offensive rebounds giving up and offensive rebounds getting. Offensive rebounds getting last year, we were 9th. This year, we were 29th. We averaged 11.4 offensive rebounds last year. We averaged 8 this year. We gave up 12 rebounds this year for 29th. Or last year. This year we gave up 11.9 was 29th. So did we improve? Yes, we did. 0.02%. But we're still 29th in the league. So Hartenstein will clearly help us there. 100% he'll help us there. So, and I don't believe that had he been in the game, that when they missed the free throw, and we had the ball with 20-some seconds left, we would have got the offensive rebound up one. SGA would have got the ball, we'd have dribbled through, and I'm assuming that as long as the coach doesn't call timeout, SGA is going to have the ball in his hands to finish out the game and finish them off, which is probably what would have happened, at least put us up by 3, or if not, hit a 3 and put us up by 4 to end the game. So that's the way I look at what would have happened in that scenario. So when you look at our team stats, what is the thing that we need to improve on? Inside presence. That's what I said. That's what every opponent or whatever pundit has said. That's what the Thunder need to do. So we did do those things. So now what do you do as the Oklahoma City Thunder? You go out and you draft a bunch of guards. That's what you do. And I know a lot of people get mad at me because I am the one person who talks, who tells everybody the truth. I don't sugarcoat it for the Thunder. I don't give them excuses to get away with crap. I'm like, you're not getting away with that. And like I said before many, many times, the Oklahoma market is very, very astute at football. And they would not let the OU would get away or OSU get away with things that they let the Thunder get away with because they're not knowledgeable. Whatever he says, he's a genius. No, he's really good, but he's made some terrible decisions, as all GMs do. But now at this point, the point is are you trying to win or are you trying to stay on your path that you're through 2 years down the road or we're not there yet and all this other stuff? Are you staying with your plan? You finished first in the league last year. And your plan is to stay where you're going to develop over the next 2 years. That's your plan. You're not going to take advantage of where you're at right now with the other teams getting older. And it's not necessarily abandoning your plan, but you have to be at the point, to me, that where you have a plan, but the plan has to be fluid. It can't be just stuck in a box and this is what we're doing. And like I've said many times in defense of Sam Presti, there's no way in hell you can make me believe that if he knew we were going to be the number one seed in the West, he would have facilitated the trade for Daniel Gafford to the Dallas Mavericks. Which, remember, we gave up the 26th pick, as my guy Nathan Taylor said. We had the 26th pick. We gave that up to pass that back in order for Gafford to get to Dallas. And then we gave up 5 first-round, second-round picks to draft a guy in the same spot that we normally had before. So, to me, I see that he's drafting players, and I mean we have more picks than there's so much stuff you can do. And he's taking flyers here and flyers there. But to me, why are you taking flyers? Why are you taking flyers? Look, you've got the nucleus. Let's go win now. Now, granted, the last time he did that, when he went out and got Paul George, gave up all those picks, and look what happened. But you were dealing with Westbrook. Because the decision you made that made Kevin Durant leave, that's your decision on the Thunder. That's your fault. People in Oklahoma City, y'all keep blaming Kevin Durant all you want to. I'm throwing it right at the Thunder's feet. That's your decision how you picked that dude over Kevin Durant. Ain't no way in hell that decision would have never been made in my plan. Never. I'm not picking that dude over that guy. Top 10 possibly of all time, for sure top 15 versus the guys in the top 50. The only reason why he won MVP is because the Thunder facilitated him to get the triple-double. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, on the other hand, got no help from the Thunder. Zero help for the Thunder in the MVP race. Zero help. You're over here too busy promoting J-Dub. Bally's, all you can see. But see, that crap is over with now. Because this year you're going to be on ESPN. You're going to have more nationally televised games. So that crap we got to listen to on Bally and all your BS, that's out the window. So Sam Presti, you're now on national clock. That hiding that stuff out and feeding a bunch of crap, that's over with. The national press is not going to let the Thunder get away with what they got away with. He's going to get asked a tough question. The coach is going to get asked a tough question. Those days are over with now. You got exposed. All the stuff that you were trying to hide and putting over the Thunder for the Thunder fans' eyes, that's over. Over. But we'll get into all that later. Okay, tonight's show. Then, of course, in NBA news, man, first of all, the Celtics ownership group is looking to sell the team, and it's valued at $4.7 billion is the value. That's the value, which means, of course, it's going to go for more than that. But anyway, that's the value of the Celtics, who are coming off the national or defending, or they are now the defending or current champions, will be defending world champions of the NBA. And it's funny that these guys, I think that was their goal, is to do that, to win a championship, keep their rings on, which they can wear forever and say, yeah, we won the 18th. They can sell that. They can say that forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And now they can go out and get their money and do whatever they want and be done with the NBA and all the nonsense. So the Celtics, they will sell fast. All those people in New England, people are lining up to go sell. And I think it's going to be well north of $5 billion. That's what I think. But it's valued at $4.7 billion. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be more than that. I think because once you get into a group of people who are battling for it, and plus it is the Celtics, one of the two main brands of the NBA, the others being the Lakers. So I think that you're going to get more out of that. I think that that's going to come out more, but I think it's interesting that all of a sudden they win the championship and the first thing they do was put their team up for sale. And what did they win the championship? How many weeks ago? And they're already putting it up for sale. Already up for sale, and it's been what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks since they've won it, and they're already up for sale. I thought that was interesting when I saw that. But strike while the iron is hot. You guys are pretty much probably done with the NBA and done with the players. You've done what you wanted to do, win a championship, and now you can move on. Take your money and move. That's wouldn't bother me. But this is how I always look at it. When you're an owner of a team in the NBA, you want a 30. In the NFL, you want a 32. That's a pretty significant, pretty selective group class of people when you're in that category. So I'm not sure how I would really feel about that and doing that, but it's not my team. Paul George, of course, he left the Clippers, which we talked about that last week. We had no illusions about that and figured that he would do that, and I completely understand why he left. I mean, I wouldn't want to play with them either. I would have been gone as well. So I'm with Paul George on that. I have zero issues with what he did by leaving them. Plus, 4 years, 212 million with the Sixers. Tyrese Maxey, of course, right after that signed a 5-year, $205 million max extension, which I believe Chet and J-Dub, Oklahoma City, will give them max extensions at the end of next year. And then, of course, 2 years after that, SJ will be up for his max because, remember, he's a two-time All-NBA player. So he will be getting the Supermax if the Thunder decide to do that. But since they think that J-Dub has more upside than SJ, I don't think that will happen. That's just me. We'll see. Chris Paul signs a 1-year deal, 1-year, $11 million contract with the Spurs. I was talking about it. They were like, well, it's only $11 million. Chris Paul has made $200 million in the NBA. And he's 40-something, late 30s. Yeah, $11 million, that's nice. I doubt if he's living off $11 million a year. He's probably too smart for that. And, he's got a good group, good money manager. He's probably living off $3 or $4 million a year. $5 million a year is probably what they're living off of because where the players make the mistake is they sign for all this money, they graduate or they quit playing and they've got $100-something million in the bank, but they still have a $20 million a year lifestyle. And they're still taking care of mom, dad, sister, brother, cousins, third cousins, fourth cousins, baby mamas out the wazoo. I just don't understand how, these guys can have 6, 7, 8, 9 kids by 6 or 7, 8 different women. It just amazes me how they do that. It just blows me away. And those are money that you have to spend, and you got to pay for those kids. Magic signed Caldwell Pope, 3-year, $66 million contract. My guy Nathan Taylor really, really likes Caldwell Pope. I didn't, but I think that's okay switch for me because the Magic were going after Hartenstein as well, and to me that's an easy pick. I'm gonna take Hartenstein over Caldwell Pope every day, all day long. Over that, I think that he is streaky, and to me, he did his thing. That's just how I believe. Now Nathan Taylor loves him, but I just he's like, oh, Caldwell Pope. Yeah, no, I don't want Caldwell Pope. I didn't want him. I'm completely out on him. 100%. I was out on that guy. Wasn't interested in him at all. But I think he's gonna be a good pickup for them. And then of course, what did the Nuggets do? The Nuggets got younger, which is what they were trying to do, is get younger. And they succeeded in doing that. And by the way, once again, congratulations to our guy, Trey Alexander, for getting drafted by them. And hopefully that will work out for that young man. I really, really like him a lot. And I hope that I hope everything works out perfectly for him and his parents and grandparents. I like that whole Alexander family. Good group of people. Really, really good group of people. But anyway, congratulations to him. The Pistons about to sign Cade Cunningham, 5-year, $226 million max extension, as they should. And, Cade he's a very good player. And he was really good at Oklahoma State. And he's been just as good for Detroit. So, yeah, congratulations to him. Go ahead and sign that. And, yes, And then what did they do to go out and get more small guys? I don't understand the philosophy with that. If you're going to win in this league, you got to win with bigs. You got to give me athletic bigs that are 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", that can do what a 6'7", 6'8" guy can do. That's what you got to get out. Klay Thompson rumored to sign with. He has not yet. It has not been completed, but he's rumored to going to be able to sign with the Mavs. And there's been a lot of oh comments about how the Warriors treated him and whether they should have kept him, and how did Draymond Green give him enough love? Did Steph give him enough love? Did they make him happen? At the end of the day, everybody saw this happening. Now, I believe the Magic should have got rid of him before. Now, they offered him, what was it, $20 million a year or whatever, and he thought that was a slap in the face based on what everybody else was getting. But your game is not based on what their game is. Your age is not what their age is. So I understand that he feels the value of his worth, and I get that. But Klay, you're older, and you're not coming off one of your best years. You missed, a year and a half, so you haven't really played in 2 years. So last year was the first year played, so there's still a lot of rust with you. I don't really understand the issue that's going on with him and that whole situation, but this is his last contract. He's trying to get as much money as he can. I'm sure he's going to miss being able to drive his boat up to the practice facility every day, which is nice. Jump in your boat, go right up the canal, go to practice, go to games. Your boat's right there. That's a nice feeling to have, a nice thing to have. That's over with now. If you go to the Mavs, well, you have Lake Louisville, so you can always do that. Or you go down and also go to Lake Travis. So there's different places you can go with the lake that your big boat can fit on, and Louisville, your boat can fit on that really, really easily, and so can it on Lake Travis. So you can always do that. Lake is not the ocean. It's not the ocean, but it is still can it be a nice place for you to hang out if you like the water, which clearly Klay does. But, we're going to see how that happens. But I don't know if he's really going to sign with the Mavericks. They need another shooter. That's it. He's a catch and shoot guy. And I think with him and Kyrie and Luka, they can all succeed. They can all go. But Klay gives them another dynamic that they lost in the Boston series. Because to me, and we'll talk about this tonight, the teams that lost, what did they do? Boston lost last year. They upgraded the coaching staff and added another big and replaced Marcus Smart. That's what they did. You look at the Knicks, what they did. They kept OG. They added Mikal Bridges. So they're like, okay, we got to do this to improve. The 76ers said, okay, we got to improve. What did they do? They went ahead and added Paul George, which is going to give them a three-headed monster. It's going to be nasty. You look at what the Denver Nuggets has done. What did they do? Yeah, they made a nice move, but for the most part, how much did they really improve, but how much do they really need to? Because you've got a big head, you got a big monster. So we're going to talk about that tonight. Like I said on the show, we're going to break down all the different teams tonight on After the Storm. What the different teams in the West did and what the different teams did in the East. Now, tomorrow on the Unpopular Hour, we'll come back and we'll go over everything that we're going to talk about tonight on the show to kind of give everybody a feel for, what happened. Because I'm not going to give all my stuff away today, what we're going to talk about tonight on After the Storm. So we're going to break down the different teams in the West, what each team did to get better, what each team needed. Here are the Thunder. This is what the Thunder needed to get better. They needed a big. They got a very good one, and we have been preaching that's the guy that we've wanted the whole time. We've wanted Isaiah Hartenstein. That's who we wanted. That's who I've wanted, and I'm good with that. Now, draft, you went out, you have a bunch of draft picks, so you can throw away picks and take it on guards or whatever, because Oklahoma City loves 6'7s. Then you got Isaiah Joe, you re-signed him, so okay, fine. I'm not a fan of Isaiah Joe, but I was wrong, and I can tell my boy when I see him at Cats next week, I won't see him this week, but that he was right about Isaiah Joe. I'm like, why are you going to sign Isaiah Joe in the last 2 seasons that he was with us? At the end of the year, he faded. His numbers dropped significantly. Last two years, because once teams figure out what you do, they take it away. And once they took away Isaiah Joe off the perimeter and made him put the ball on the ground, he was not as effective. And then now you turn around, instead of getting something else that's allowed him, maybe you couldn't find it out there. And you give him a 4-year, $12 million deal a year. I, I once again, the question is, are the Thunder in developmental mode or they in win mode? Because remember, we're young. So for the next 7 years, guys, the Thunder, for the next 7 years, we are young. SGA is going to be 32 in 7 years. Or let's just say 5 years, the next 5 years. Everybody else is going to be way older than we are. Everybody else is going to be in their mid to late 30s. Every other team is going to be old except us. So you have a 5-year run that you can run with the nucleus of SGA, J-Dub, and Chet. For sure the next 3 years or 4 years, whether you're going to pay SGA or trade him, whatever. You have the next 3 years. And instead of completely maximizing that time, you're going to stay on your timetable because, to me, you believe that J-Dub has more upside than SJ. Now, remember, SJ has been All-NBA, first-team All-NBA 2 years in a row. Now, the question is J-Dub ever going to be All-NBA anything? And remember, All-NBA is top 15 in the league. First-team All-NBA is top 5 in the league. Because you remember who the top 5 was this year. SGA, Luka, Giannis, Joker, and who? Jason Tatum. So, to me, I look at the Thunder, and we're going to go into detail about everything that happened. Like I said, I'm excited about Hartenstein. Isaiah Joe, not so much. But I do like Isaiah Joe. Like I said, that group, that second 5, when you had SGA, Isaiah Joe, Kaysen, Wiggins, and J. Will, that 5 was your best 5 that you had out there. Keep J. Will out there for a couple minutes, then you put Chet in there, and then let Chet go. That group right there, you made a run every year, every time they were in there. In the Dallas game, you made 2 runs with J-Dub on the bench. 2 runs. And in the fourth quarter, you keep him in the game the whole time. To me, that's just coaching. We're going to develop him. Hell with that. Take him out the game for 2 minutes. You made a run twice with him on the bench. It's the fourth quarter, Game 6, to get home to a Game 7 back in Oklahoma City. You do what you got to do to try to win the game. Instead, you felt like you're going to have a better chance with him on the floor than with him off. Even though twice in that game, with him on the floor, on the bench, you made 2 significant runs. Once again, coaching matters. Now, you guys can like him all you want. You get mad at me about saying this stuff about him, but I'm not saying anything that's negative. I'm not saying anything negative. I'm telling you the facts. Now, if you don't like him, that's on you. But here are the facts. The guy doesn't get how to coach the flow of the game. He doesn't understand lineups because he's too busy trying to develop. He's in developmental mode. We're in win-now mode. But you got a developmental coach who doesn't have the knowledge and doesn't have the ability to know how to win. And as the Athletics said last summer, can this coach coach a superstar? The answer is absolutely not. He does not know how to coach a superstar. Absolutely not. That's the answer. And when you look at the teams that had all NBA players, Oklahoma City Thunder, playoffs. Dallas, playoffs. Milwaukee, whatever. Denver, yes. Boston, yes. And Boston had another player on there. Remember, Jaylen Brown is on there too. He's one of the top 15 players. They got 2 of them. Now, I love our team, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to beat us up. I love our team. Okay? And I look at the Lakers and what a nightmare that is with LeBron. But, of course, LeBron is a nightmare wherever he goes except in Miami. He tried to run stuff, and Pat Riley said, you ain't running nothing here. LeBron got out of town because he knew he wasn't going to be able to run nothing. As soon as his contract was up, boom, he bounced. Let me go back to Cleveland where I can run stuff. Never touched. He brought a title home. Okay? And I've said this before. Here are his titles. He beat Oklahoma City in a shortened season. He won for the Lakers in the season with COVID. Ray Allen saved him in the series, the second title they won at Miami. Wasn't for Ray Allen hitting the shot in the corner. Wasn't for Popovich making a huge mistake, taking Tim Duncan out the floor, and who probably would have got that rebound. That's the second one. Then, of course, Draymond Green doing what Draymond Green did. Had he not got kicked out, this Warriors would have won, beat them in 5, without question. But because they didn't, then they had to go out and get Kevin Durant. That's what happened. Plain and simple. Let's take an opportunity to thank our sponsors. SRB, if you have needs for engineering, surveying, and planning, hit our guys up over at SRB and my guy Mark Long. They love to be behind the scenes. So if you have needs for a water treatment plant to be done, or if you're building a new building and you need it laid out, they can make sure that everything works and it doesn't flood and it'll be laid out properly. Collaborative Logic, if you have needs for computers or software to make your office run smoother, or website design, hit Russell Willifort up over there at Collaborative Logic. And of course, Oak Grove Trucking and my guy Jose Fierro. Thank you again for my shirt, big dog. Jose Fierro, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand, he is the dude to talk to over there. And of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the OKC area. Or you can go into their locations, near 5 locations. The main bank located at 401 Elm in downtown Yukon, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YMB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 or 39th Expressway. YMB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YMB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks. They're in Yukon and I-40. As my guy Nathan Taylor says, 212 steps, whatever. You walk around in most Volkswagen. He's so full of it. Anyway, and then, of course, YB Peoples in Bethany, located on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur, and Shelter Insurance, the Mark Pemberton Agency, located at 4609 Southeast 29th in Dale City, Oklahoma, 405-670-2424. Open Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5, Fridays, 9 to 1. Closed Saturdays and Sundays, probably serving the Mid-Dale area since 1982. That's 1982. Just doing really good. And, what's so funny is that, I've been watching Portland and Portugal and Slovenia are on hockey. I mean, on whatchamacallit right now, on soccer in the World Cup. I mean, not in the World Cup, but in Euro 24. And then, of course, in soccer tonight, which is why I'm wearing my jersey, the USA men's soccer team is playing Uruguay tonight at 8 o'clock. And, last week we lost to Panama. And Tim Way, I don't know what you're doing. Why are you hitting somebody in the head? And you just cost your team because you're not playing. You didn't play that, which cost us. We played with 10 players, and all we had to do was tie. But we didn't get it done because of your bonehead play and what you did, which was just, still to this day, I don't know what the hell you was thinking. I don't know what you're thinking, bro. You cost us. So that being said, what a tonight. I'm going to be looking forward to that tonight at 8 o'clock on FS1. I will be there. I will be watching that tonight, which is hence on me wearing my USA Soccer jersey that I have on right now to support our team and that. So let's go get a W tonight. We got to have it because, boy, I still don't. I don't understand what somebody could have said to you that would have made you hit them in the head with the red, and now you're out. And now you're out for tonight, too. You can't play today either. So, you cost the team a chance to go to the Copa America. Well, now we have to win. I don't know what, because Panama is playing Bolivia, and they're probably going to beat them. So you have to win. I just don't understand what you was doing. I mean, and everybody talks about, Rick Burkhauser, or Gary, whoever, that they're, whatever his name is, I forget what his name, Baumgartner anyway. To me, how's it his fault that your player is going to hit somebody? Now, I played and I've been called a lot of things. And there's only 2 things that are going to make me do that. Okay? And in an important match, an important game like that, there's only 2 things that I'm not going to hit you, But I'm gonna get in your face, or I'm gonna call the referee over, and I'm gonna say blah blah blah. Hey, this guy just said this stuff to me, and you need to check that. So to me, there's several things you could do, but hit him in the head in the first 2 minutes of the game, and now all of a sudden you're gone. You put your team. You only have 10 men out there on the field against a team that you have to win. That's just inexcusable to me. But like I said, the two things that someone's gonna say to me that are gonna get me heated. There's two things you can say to me. But in a situation like that, I am not going to hit you in the head. I'm not going to cost my my team a championship or a chance to go. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But on the other side of that, to me, I don't know if we're ever going to recover from that. I don't know, but I'm going to be in full support tonight in my red, wearing my USA jersey, on my USA top. I'm going to be supporting my team, and I'm hoping we can get the W. But what the hell are you thinking, bro? What the hell are you thinking? Oh, that's right, you weren't. And so that's just going to cost us. Your grade is very, very good. And then, I think the best we can get is a draw. And, that's me. I'm hoping we get a W because we can. But now, and the question is, what do they want to do? Because the opposing team has to look at it like they're in. So what do we do? How do we want to approach it? Okay? How do we want to approach it? So, with that being said, I'm looking forward to tonight. I'm excited about the matches, like the matches that are going on now. I mean, this is my favorite time to watch soccer. The World Cup and this is Euro America and Copa America. I love this time. I love soccer. But our USA men's team is not quite there yet. We're building into that. But when everybody was talking about the women, how the men shouldn't make more money than the women, I agree with that 100%. I don't know how they're making as much money as the women. You ain't done nothing. You ain't doing that. They're winning World Cups. You ain't doing nothing. They're doing what they're supposed to do to get where they're supposed to be, and you're not. So now, granted, men's soccer, the women's U.S. team is like the Brazilians or the Italians or the Portugals or France, Germany. That's what our women's team is like. The men's team is like the other smaller teams, smaller continent. That's what they are. So the women's team should be paid more than the men's team because they're more successful. Now, do they make as much money in attendance-wise? No. But will they? Yeah, because you can see that soccer is coming on worldwide, especially in America for American sports or for American soccer is growing because a lot of kids are starting to play soccer. A lot more of your athletes are playing soccer instead of baseball, instead of football, instead of basketball. A lot of them are playing soccer because they live in communities to where their parents are successful, and so they live in communities where soccer is what you play, or field hockey is what you play, or polo is what you do, because they live in areas that are way more affluent than the other areas. Now, your kids that are living in the cities and necessarily not the best neighborhoods, those are your basketball and football players, because that's what they can have access to. That's what they do. But in the rural areas, not rural areas, but in the suburbs, God, I don't know what's wrong with me talking today. In the suburbs, that's more soccer. So they do play basketball in the suburbs. They do play baseball in the suburbs. So don't get me wrong, in football. But those are mainly in your affluent neighborhoods. It's more soccer than it is anything else. And field hockey. That's what it is more than anything else. And more of your affluent neighborhoods because you go to different schools and you go to more private schools. And that's what you end up doing, playing volleyball or playing basketball or playing soccer or something. You end up doing something else. So soccer is getting more and more athletes to play the game who normally would be playing another sport. And you can see that we're still getting there. It's kind of like the reverse in European basketball. These guys are getting better and they're starting to catch up to the U.S. because of the U.S. and the way that they play. The U.S., the way that the juniors are played in basketball with the AU circuit, and these coaches just wanted to win, parents wanted to win, not trying to get their kids better. If you have the most athletic group, you're going to win most of the time because you're more athletic than everybody else. You ain't teaching them nothing, and they're not going to go far. And if they go to the league, they're not going to stay long because they don't have the tools necessary. But that's what American basketball is. European basketball is fundamentals. It's played more on the ground. You're learning more. You're way more skilled. Now, back in the day when I was playing, we were athletic and skilled, but we were more skilled. Most people were more skilled than athletic. Now, in today's basketball, people are more athletic than they are skilled because they're not teaching them the skills to go along with the athleticism. The men who are playing, the athletes who are doing better are skilled and athletic. Paul George, SGA, J-Dub, Chet. You can go down the list of all the people who are athletic now. LeBron James. And remember, his youngest son is the one. Bryce is the player, not Bronny. Bronny's not the player, but, everybody gets mad at LeBron about nepotism. Why are you mad? There's no reason to be mad. LeBron is doing what everybody else would do if you had the chance. If you own a company, who's going to take over the company? Your son or your daughter. Same thing with LeBron's doing. He's getting his son because LeBron wants to be probably going to be the only player ever to play with his child in the NBA. Now, his son, if his son was named anybody else, his son would not be in the league. That's fact. But that doesn't matter because he is LeBron's son and he's getting an advantage to do something that somebody else would not do because he's LeBron's son. And as a Laker fan, everybody talks about, I think it was Stephen A. was talking about today, oh, well, LeBron has box office. He's not box office. The Lakers have the 11th or 12th best attendance in the league. How the hell is he box office? 11th or 12th? It's not box office. Box office is 1, 2, or 3. Top 5 at worst. But that's box office, and he ain't it. None of the Laker fans are tired of the nonsense. The more you know about basketball, the less the owners can throw in your face, and you deal with it. That's why what the people don't agree with, most Laker fans don't even like LeBron. Because we're like, dude, get out of here, man. You don't play hard. You don't this. I mean, you're blaming everything. You tore up our team. We could have had Buddy Hield. We could have got this deal, DeMar DeRozan. But you wanted Westbrook, and we still haven't recovered from the picks we gave up for that. Still haven't. And then you don't take credit for it, which is what you do. So, but anyway, hey, everybody look forward to tonight. I'm looking forward to coming back and doing the show tonight for the Thunder, and then of course watching the USA tonight. Get a W. Let's hope. Let's get that W. Let's hope that they can get the W tonight against Uruguay. But I will be watching that game at 8 o'clock, and then of course we'll be doing our show before that tonight. So come back and watch the Unpopular Hour. After the Storm tonight. And remember, if you want to come on, we will have tons of people on tonight watching the show, and you can comment. And on YouTube, you can go in and all your comments will be right here. We'll talk about those on the show tonight about what's going on with the Thunder. And, of course, remember, 2 big, huge deals. Really one. The other one, the signing of Isaiah Joe, whatever. I was wrong about that, and I have to tell my boy that. But Harkenstein, that's the one I wanted, and that's who we came out and we got. So that being said, hey, hope everybody has a fantastic day today. Stay cool because it's hot in the mother out there.